I wonder about this sometimes about God's healing. Is healing mean that it's completely restored? And I guess it's not going to be completely restored until we are completely restored in His presence, because there's still some missing places there that time can't be replaced, And I know He's sorry, and I am too, and I've forgiven Him, and but sometimes it's hard to buy. I don't really remember to buy a Father's Day card way in advance. And sometimes it's hard to get excited or be motivated and I want that to be important, and I don't want to hurt him, right? I'm not trying to get back. But there's just kind of a little bit of a pause there.
I just wanna fight for a cause. If I get to know my purpose, I don't know if I'll like it or not. God, I know that you're the answer. When I'm searching my mind, I forgot. When I'm walking through the fire, I just look toward the light when it's hot. You and I know the easy does it. I want real meaning, no easy love. If I wait in your time, wouldn't it be enough? I've been thirsting for answers, I'm looking up. God, I know you're my portion, please fill my cup. You said that you meant that I ain't giving up. No throwing the cards and no packing my stuff. Won't stop when I fall, cause I'll stop what you did when you gave up your life and you bought me with blood, bought me with love. I can't give up, I can't give up.
My folks got divorced when I was 14 or 15 also. And I'm the oldest of four. At that time, really, it didn't seem like I knew that many kids whose folks were divorced. And so I thought it was going to be a big deal, and it was going to be socially detrimental, or it was going to be a difficult path as a teenager having divorced parents. Then they made a run at getting back together. We moved, bought a different house, and redid it a little bit, and they took another shot at it, and then it was just not good at all. I think the firstborn is, and I'm the firstborn of four, like I mentioned, and I think they're generally tend to do the right thing, follow the rules, color in between the lines, and do what you're supposed to do. And so I already did that, and this kind of just ramped it up so that, and it's defining in good ways and bad ways. It was a tough way to grow up that way. And Dad, after about a year in Stillwater, where he got divorced, after they got divorced, he found a job up here and moved to Alaska when I was, 15 or 16. And just starting in high school and those are pretty defining moments for a teenage boy. And so he was gone, and they were gonna get divorced, and he lived across town, but he could have stayed in Stillwater, and it would have been better, because it's a long way up here. It's hard to, there's something about just physical presence, that I think does matter.
Shallow, he knows trouble. Get the kitchen sink.
Woo! Early on, the feelings that I had, were alone and abandoned and not worth what it would have taken to stay engaged. So yeah, it can be dark and lonely and fearful to think that you don't have a father on this earth, but or one that's distant. But I think God's love and provision and grace and mercy and blessings is just unbelievable. And I don't believe God wants us to be like that. He didn't design it that way. And I think he provides fathers in a lot of ways. But I think one of my challenges is having that happen in my alone time and just having him speak to me one-on-one and without it having to come through somebody else or come through even an experience. But to read his word, hear his voice, believe in his love, trust in his love, and receive that. Receiving. You have to receive it. You can turn away and even you can turn away from your father on this earth that hadn't treated you the way you want to. But I think at some point that reconciliation and healing and forgiveness and restoration of that relationship would be part of God reaching it back out to you so we can receive from him as well.
I remember one time at Kanakuk, I asked Joe White, if you guys ever know Joe. He's intense, dude. But because I used to hear stuff at camp that was, and I kind of filter it through what my dad thought. And this was after he'd been gone for 4 or 5 years. I said, Joe, why do I think about everything the way my dad would think about it? He goes, Daniel, he just got these steel eyes. He, Daniel, because he's your daddy. And it just about is that simple. And, dads are such a significant relationship that I think because he's my dad, I guess I don't want him to be sad now. And I am sorry for what he lost in the whole deal.
I've often wondered, do I even now need to tell him?
That's what I was going to ask you. Have you told him to forgive me?
I'm sure that I have, in more ways than one, and probably explicitly. I forgive you. And so I don't think I want to do that now because I don't want to make it look like I haven't forgiven you for 55 years. And I have.
I don't know I didn't realize how much that you guys had talked and reconciled either. I think at one point I thought Mom might have said that, your granddad has never apologized to your dad or something, and maybe that was several years ago, but for some reason I remember that. And so I think for a while I started kind of almost forming my own assumptions about kind of what happened and at least filling in the gaps. And so I think at some point it's really good to hear what those stories are, and good and bad. And I think it's also helpful just to not almost protect me from those things, or maybe, I don't know if that was the point, but I don't know, I feel honored to be, included or to be told those things, I think there's a level of love and respect that I feel from you to share something like that. Sharing that kind of stuff takes less of a father-son role, or feels less of father-son-ish, and more of a brothers and friends.
I can remember my dad telling me that later in life that it stuck with me, that telling me that I was important to a lot of people, to my family and to those that are dependent upon me. And I've got a critical, not even so much role, but I'm important as a father and as a man, and sometimes you cannot feel that way, and you can lose track of that, and that may allow you to go chase something that looks like a whole lot more fun than changing diapers or putting up with your wife when she's upset. But to remember the importance of the role of a father when it doesn't look that way, and when it's ugly and nasty and all you want to do is turn and run and make yourself feel better. And I've done that, believe me, plenty of times. I mean, thank God I haven't kept running, but it is helpful to remember and to believe and know that just your presence. You got the Spirit of God in you. Your presence is important to your wife and your children and your family.
No, not this. Way up, way up, way up. There you go, there you go.